Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's go ahead and dive in and see what the Divine Holy Spirit has for you all, what messages, what it is that you need to know. What is it that your eyes cannot see and your ears cannot hear? Spirit, what message do you have for the collective? What is it that they need to know? Please and thank you. For some reason, I'm being shown a holly tree. I thought maybe it was some association with Christmas, but here we are in February. I believe today's the 12th. But maybe there's some significant meaning behind seeing like the holly tree and the red berries. Specifically 3 red berries, all right? All right, Spirit, what do you have for the collective? Let's go. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments. I appreciate you being here, because I would not be here if you were not here. So thank you. What else do you have for the collective, Spirit? That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards right there, but I can't deny you what Spirit wants you to know. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Cups in the reverse. So this is going to be the overall energy here that these cards are tied to with this reading. So this 10 of Cups reverse would have to do with, a total loss of happiness. Whatever it was that was to be achieved in this lifetime in regards to having everything that it is that would be necessary to bring on this total abundance of happiness is no more. It's no longer. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what this has to do with you and your energy. All right. So the 6 of Wands here is very apparent. So this has to do a lot with a temporary achievement of acknowledgement. This is like what we call a parade being held in your honor. The only thing is it's totally temporary. So it's like there's more work that is going to be required in regards to the actions that are being taken with this 6 of Wands. But at least right now, it's like a little small pat on the back. Like, yeah, you did it. You accomplished it. Yeah, you did that. But we got a little bit more that needs to be done in whatever this holds rank with. All right, so right here on top of this energy here as we move along, the Page of Swords reverses here. So this is definitely some spreading of untruths. It's very immature. Like the page is like less of the knight, the queen, the king. This is someone kind of starting out. They're like trying to, get their roots in the ground in regards to the swords being mental thought. So maybe this is someone that's saying, I wonder what would happen if I say this, or if I try to do this, in regards to trying to manipulate someone else or manipulate the energies in that way. Like they could start a rumor. That will be like a basic understanding of this card, just based on what they want to try to carry out. That would be against, it'll be like a disturbance, basically, in someone else's life, whatever targeted individual is there. But let's see what's, connected to this energy of this Page of Swords reverse. So what I can see right here is this 10 of Wands. So this is a completion of some sort of action here. But let me see what these cards are. I'm going to turn them over and see how that's tied to these 2 energies. So we have the Hermit card reverse. So this is an energy of being locked away, being tied down, being in one's own way, I would say, because it's in the reverse. It has a lot to do with self-reflection if it were in the upright, but in the reverse, it means, okay, you've been in this place for too long. It's time to now come out and join society, or just get out of that little mental headspace that you were in, because, introspect has a lot to do with inner knowledge and going within and finding out, the root issues and all that good stuff. But it's like, now it's like kind of obsessing or maybe being afraid to come out. That's what this Hermit reverse would indicate at this time. So Judgment card is here. So maybe it's the fear of judgment. We have the Emperor here and then the 3 of Wands. So Yeah, I get it. I get it now. I get it now. All right. So going back to this Ten of Cups reverse here, just the ultimate loss of happiness, or what one would have thought would have been like the end all be all of the perfect life. They're hiding now because with this Ten of Wands indicates a completion. I feel like there's no more steps that can be done other than this person pulling a wild card to make themselves not look as much of a loser as they really are. So this Hermit card reverse lets me know that they're a coward, because they're going to face judgment here. And the Emperor card here has a lot to do with, yeah, it's time to face the music. You know, you've got away with a lot of things for a long time just by being in this Emperor energy, but it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it that, you know, you've been put on this pedestal, and I'm not talking about you. This is definitely someone in your energy, that they've been put on that pedestal for so long. Like maybe they were just, you know, ultimately like a man child, if we're talking about, you know, an actual masculine figure, to where, you know, all that mattered, that, you know, they were the boy of the family and they were going to be raised up as such. Or maybe there was maybe there was some overcompensation in a child's life to where they grew up on that pedestal when they abused that privilege. Like they really shouldn't have been given that privilege, is what I'm picking up here. Especially if they have these indicators here of them deserving like everything that they feel they should have, even though that Emperor, they deserve it, even though they may not even have qualified for it. Like Three of Wands, always expecting this favoritism to come into their life. So now that, you know, whoever this is, this energy is tied to a specific person. So whoever this person is, they're scared, they're in hiding, because they know there's no point in them coming out and trying to regain the fame that they lost, try to regain the money that was lost, whatever it is that was that security blanket for them is on its way out with this Ten of Wands, is what I'm feeling here. If it's not already gone, the reason why they went into hiding, because it was being pulled away, like the rug was being pulled from under them, then it's like it's really on its last leg here. I heard last wing. So I would kind of, you know, versify that as last leg. So when I think of, if it, you know, if I go with the whole last wing, so there was like some sort of saving grace in their life. Like I mentioned, security blanket. There was something always underlying there that they could fall back on. But that, if that's a person, that person is on one wing. Because I would say that was like an angel figure to them. Someone who would always, you know, remember I said someone was overcompensating for them. So if it were a parent who was overcompensating for their child who kind of went wayward, but in their eyes, you know, it was their job to always try to self-correct it for them and not have that person, you know, try to fix and heal on their own. That person who overcompensated for them was always there to catch them before they fell. Or either if they did fall, it wasn't like a hard fall. It was like a soft landing, but they still fell. You see where I'm going? You understand what I'm saying? So judgment is here because they can't escape. And they know this. They know this with the Ten of Cups reverse. They understand that. But for some reason, Six of Wands here, they still feel like there's still some achievements here that is going to bring them victory, when that's really not the case. Maybe in their mind, it's a victory, but it's not, because the Ten of Wands means show's over. Show is almost over. Ten of Wands completion is over. Whew. All right, you guys. So this Page of Swords here just lets me know that there is that always just that denial. That's always just that mincing of, you know, it really is in reality one thing, but to have them tell it, it's not, because they're not living in their own reality. There's just some disconnect neurologically, if I said that right. There's a disconnect there that they just don't see. They're not getting it. All right. Anyway, I'm going to get out of that. But there's one more card here. I'm going to turn this over and see what's going on. All right. So justice is here. So this is outside from this energy. So I can just already tell that there is justice being brought to the situation with the judgment card here. It's over. It's done. Yeah. So I feel like that saving grace energy, whatever was there that was holding them up and not making them be held accountable, that's disappearing. It's leaving, it's weakening, it's whatever that is, that it will no longer be there to hold that person up. That's just what it is. All right, these are a lot of cards, you guys, but you know, when I get like a stack of cards like this, I just like to gather them up and just kind of run through the energies. So starting with the death card reverse. So this means like there was an opportunity for some sort of I heard transmutation, but you know, overall the change was on the table. Change was presented, change was offered, but it was denied by this person, this energy. Like, I don't need to change. There's nothing wrong with me. I've been getting away with it for so long. That's all right. Mom's got me. Mom will handle it. Mom, you know, they call for mom when they're scared. And this is a grown ass man or a grown ass woman or whatever. But I'm getting masculine energy here, just so you know. But yeah, so the opportunity was missed. So now is the, you know, this is where it comes to, you know, whenever they fall the next time around, that person who was there, that codependent energy, whoever was there to catch them is not going to be there. Ten of Cups reverse. I don't know why I'm shaking, y'all. This is some nervous energy I'm picking up here because I hate that I have to deliver this message, because it would mean that, okay, if they're not here, then where are they? Yeah, they're not physically not going to be there to catch you. All right. Wow. King of Swords reverse. So we already know who this character is. So this is the Narc energy. I mean, this is the superiority of this energy, being able to get away and say and do and treat people however they wanted to treat them, just for their own personal gain. So yeah. So if this were the case, then I feel that whoever was there to catch them fall has been, quote unquote, ran through. They're tired. They've been stopped energetically from always constantly cradling this grown ass person. They can't do it anymore. So this, you know, we know the King of Swords in the reverse energy is just a terrible person. This is an abuser. They abuse themselves. They abuse others. They disrespect others. They disrespect themselves, right? This is, you know, that devil energy. It's like, you know, their entire existence has been wiped out to where they're just that physical shell, to where a demonic presence comes in and takes over and sniffs out what's around them that they can devour. If that's family, so be it. Woo, High Priestess reverse. So yeah, the High Priestess reverse is just not being in touch with, you know, that inner knowing, you know, that's that intuition that is not present in this environment, because it was disregarded. But with the High Priestess showing up, it is letting me know that, you know, there were some special dealings here to where, you know, they could have tapped in and totally, you know, checked things out as in regards to saying to themselves, you know, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, you know, there was some sort of moral compass here once upon a time, but it was disregarded and just thrown out the window. King of Swords reverse, because they got away with it for so long. That's the king. The king is above all the other court cards, meaning they're the best. You know, we have the emperor here. The emperor is actually over the kings. So you know that they were really in this position for a long time, to where it took over their mind, body, spirit, that they could be whoever they wanted to be in their own right, which was theirs. They totally own that. All right, but everybody else saw them coming and kind of tried to walk the other way if they knew who they really were. If they didn't know who this person was approaching them, Emperor, King of Swords reverse, then they would have played right into this King and Emperor's hand. It's the same person, by the way. They would have played right into their hand. And that's probably where you come in at, collective. You played right into their hand once upon a time. All right, so the Ace of Swords is here. So they know truth now. This is a beginning, by the way. So this is what they're fighting with this Hermit card reverse. They don't want to face this truth because they found out a huge, major truth that changed their whole trajectory. I can't say the word right now, but you know what I'm saying. It changed their whole way. Like what? Like, if anything shocked them, it would have been this. But let's see what's behind this truth that now I heard humiliation. I heard that could possibly have and you know you can't really humiliate a narc. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but to have them tell it, that would never happen. But it's done. All right, let's see what the humiliation had to do with. Okay, so this could have been like sporadic, you know, movements, energies, just their mouth was just on 1,000 when it came to disrespect, or just maybe before they asked, they just went ahead and did it. You know, they didn't have any, you know, concern or compassion or even cared about, you know, what your opinion was or other people's opinions on a matter. They just went ahead and grabbed the wheel and took the car, you know, when it wasn't even their car to take and they had no idea where they were headed. But this is that, you know, that sporadic, out of control energy with this Knight of Swords reverse. Okay, so that would have meant that they had their eyes on this Nine of Pentacles. So this could be a person, place, situation. It was always about, oh, that they're doing good over there. Let me go see what's going on. Let me go see what I can get from this. Let me go see how I can come up and leave them in the dust, because their whole intention was to devour, to take over, to leave this person lacking, this Nine of Pentacles. And this is the pre-Empress energy we like to call. So this would have been someone on their way to, you know, their goals, their dreams, success. This is what they look for. This is that Knight of Swords reverse energy going toward that. That's all they ever wanted. Yeah, the Will card is here. So the Will card just means, you know, this is our good luck card in tarot. So this actually means completion because it's the number 10. But hang on, I feel a little shift here. But let me see what's going on with this Will card. So Spirit, what is the Will card in regards to this energy? Okay, so I hear ever changing. So new supply. I mean, we know narcissism as, you know, them being the bloodsuckers that they are, because they always keep supply readily available that they can run to and use for their personal needs. So with this Nine of Pentacles here in the Will card, like I said, it was always just an opportunity for a come up for them. And they had plenty. They had plenty supply with the Will card being in the upright. But the completion part of it, the completion part of this Will card, Spirit, what is that? Ever-changing cycle is what I'm hearing. So instead of it like ending, I know it's a 10, it's completion. I feel like it just meant like going to the next. But, okay, hang on just a second, because this is where it gets kind of involved here. It's a little bit more perplexed than what I'm actually seeing in front of me. But hang on. All right, I heard rotor-rooter. I don't know. I have to think about what rotor-rooter even is. I feel like it has to do with like some kind of plunging or clogging maintenance. Like a service guy will come out and unclog. Oh, okay. All right. So Even though it's a completion, there was still always a constant forward moving direction into another person's arms or another person's lap or another person's wealth, their checkbook. What can they buy me? What can they do for me? Can I move in with them? It was a constant forward moving will for that energy, that moving forward sporadically, like without giving it thought. Just always on the lookout for this Nine of Pentacles energy. Like, what's the next thing? Who's the next star rising that I could take part in their life, and absolutely destroy it and not think anything about it. Oh man. Yeah, so Four of Pentacles reverse. So this card has to do with possession, but in the reverse, it means letting go. So, I mean, if I tie this to the energy we just ran through with this, I don't mean to say ran through. Ran through was used in a negative connotation earlier. Like they ran through whoever was holding them up before they hit the ground hard. Somebody always came in to make sure they didn't hit their head. Yeah. Because the fall was, you know, apparent every time for that Knight of Swords reverse, our King of Swords reverse, this Emperor energy here. All right, so this Four of Pentacles lets me know that they lost all of their supply. Everyone that they could depend on was let go, was released from their hold, because this is possession. This is your mind. This is, you know, look what I got. And with that kind of energy, it is hard to kind of loose yourself from that control. Because it was groomed, it was set in place, it was set in motion for some time. So there's trickster energy to that. But I feel like they were able to release themselves, or they were released, because I feel like the hold was so strong that they were unable to, you know, loose themselves. But it was done for them. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius here, but here's the Temperance card, so this is balance. So, you know, I feel like, you know, if there ever was a balance here, it is now, because that energy was forced to release, you know, their captives. And it is bringing balance to the situation at hand, to where it has to be a positive negative. It can't be two positives and two negatives, because I feel like that's kind of what was going on here. Because it's always something that didn't totally click. It didn't totally match. It didn't totally come together as like a force to be reckoned with in a positive way. All right, and the Eight of Cups just means walking away emotionally, just being able to release. So, you know, I feel like that would have a lot to do with how these captives with that Four of Pentacles reverse, they were able to finally severance themselves from, you know, whoever this is that we're talking about here. Let me see if there's anything else here with this Eight of Cups. So yeah, we were talking about humiliation. Let's see what the humiliation is. So this is, you know, what we're getting to in regards to they were put in check by spirit. Because really there's no physical presence that could ever put them in check, really, because maybe it was just out of fear, or out of, I'm not dealing with this dude or girl or whoever because they're crazy, or you know what, they only want something from me, so I'm not even answering the phone, I'm not even trying to hang out with them. On the physical, it was kind of unavoidable. But in the spiritual realm, that was the only thing that was really going to be able to come in and pull the rug from under this character. So with this Eight of Cups, I just know the humiliation kicked into when they realized that, you know, this was way bigger than them, because they thought they were God, Emperor energy. They thought that they were the ruler, the master of themselves. But no, there is a high court, but they forgot all about that, or maybe they thought that they were part of the high court to where they had special privileges. I know they had special privileges in their home, you know, with whoever they was catching them before they fell, that was doing that for like a lifetime, or what felt like a lifetime. But that was really the only favoritism that they had in that regard, the only privilege. But on the spiritual realm, I guess they just kind of thought maybe they were okay. All right, so the Five of Swords is here. So, this is just not being able to trust people because of just the constant, I want to say backstabbing, the constant, people trying to, pull rank or call your bluff, or especially if you have something to hide, people are like, what's up with you? What's wrong with you? Talking about that energy with the Emperor, people questioning them. They didn't like that. So it's like, I'm going to get them before they get me energy with this Five of Swords. But yeah, so the Eight of Swords reverse has to do with coming out of their own way mentally. But I need to know exactly what this Eight of Swords reverse is tying itself to. Because if they are able to get out of their own way mentally, that's what the Eight of Swords would have to do with. But the release of it is the reverse of the Eight of Swords. So if they're releasing themselves, or if they're being released, like, what's the end all be all of this Eight of Swords reverse? Like, who's benefiting from this, if this is a benefit? All right, so this, I'm seeing the word privilege in my mind's eye. So all right, so that would be it. Just their thoughts of that privilege energy and then being released from that. I mean, that would make total sense here. So not only are the actions coming to an end, like the actions of this character of being able to do certain things, to be able to manipulate, get away with, to try to play other people, like what could they do? I'm just seeing somebody right now behind a computer and a keyboard. Like what is it physically that they could do to manipulate? To manipulate people. Is there anything else, Spirit, here with this energy? Cast iron. I don't know. I just heard cast iron. Cast iron, that kind of puts me in a place of like shackles, like slavery. No disrespect to anybody, but I'm using the term slavery as enslavement, but not a race of people or anything like that. I'm just talking about the word slavery. So ball and chain, I'm getting that because that's the cast iron or hard metal iron. That's the energy, the vibe that I'm in. So if we're, a ball and chain would mean you're not going nowhere. You can't move from this energy. So this would be like a permanent sentence. I was already feeling that anyway in the beginning with this Ten of Cups, because it felt like an absolute loss of happiness here. All right. So you guys, that's what I have for you. Yeah. I hope this helps.